Just in time. Call the Ridgeville Board of Zoning and Building Appeals meeting to order. Everyone please rise for pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, liberty, justice for all. Please take a look.
Members of the board, Kane.
Here.
Ali.
Here.
Masterson is excused. Thibodeau.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Kimball. Here. Members of the administration, Chief Building Official Ferguson.
Here.
Assistant Law Director Morgan. Here. Planning and Economic Development Director Weaver. Here.
Are there any corrections to the minutes dated Thursday, May 26, 2022? Hearing none, the minutes will stand. Are there any reports coming from the board this evening from planning?
The only question that we have was, could it be modified in any shape or form so it's not so close to that?
Okay, we'll get to your question.
No, it's fine.
That's all right. Are there any other reports or correspondence? I believe we have two amendments, ordinances from City Council that we're going to take a look at. And Cliff, when will these be official?
I'll let Kim take over. She's very familiar with this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. These two ordinances will go into effect July 7th. So applicants in the meantime have been advised that they're making an application for a fence. This is our height requirement currently, but that falls within the future ordinance that they can go into this folder application until that time. So we had actually quite a few of those that are now opting to wait.
That makes sense because that July meeting will be after. So
Yes.
Exactly. Great. That's a good change that's coming. Glad to see that. Moving on to the public hearings, will the clerk please read the first application?
EPZ -0123, Colin Henderson and Morgan Green, 36593 Annie Lane, EPN 07-00-028-103-210. Applicant same. The applicant proposes building a 6-foot high, 100% closed fence on a corner lot. Property is zoned R1 district. Requests. Number 1, a 2.5-foot variance for height of a fence located in the front yard. Applicant shows 6 feet, code allows 3.5 feet. Section 1294.01 H1A. Number 2, a variance for 100% solid fence. Applicant shows solid fence, code requires fence to be at least 50% open when located between the building and street line. Section 1294.01 H3. Chief Building Officials comments. 1294.01 H1A and 3. Fences in residential districts shall be 3.5 feet high, 50% open from front line of building to street. Corner lots have 2 front line of building. Applicant requesting 6-foot high fence, 100% closed fence requiring 2.5-foot height variance and 100% closed variance. BZBA approval required.
Is there a representative here this evening? So if you could please step to the podium, state your name, address, and swear your oath to the record.
Colin Henderson, 36593 Annie Lane.
Do you swear from the statements you're about to make on this board of zoning and building appeals for the city of Ridgeville are true? As I'm showing this right to God. Could you please tell us a little bit about your application?
So the application actually is somewhat a little bit changed now. Our HOA only allows the aluminum fences now. So the 6-foot would only be a 4-foot request from the 3.5-foot allowance. So that's the only difference from the right thing. And it wouldn't be a 100% solid fence, it would be that 50% open, we'll see.
So it'd be 50% of it,
Correct,
4 foot.
correct.
One of the ordinances that was changed in the reference is exactly what we're talking about. So our current ordinance up until July 7th talks about 3.5 foot fence. But after 7.
Okay.
50% open.
Perfect.
But you're here, so let's just get a few questions.
Okay.
You know, I pulled everything up, I looked at your design, it seems, you know, even in my opinion, 6 foot, it seemed to make sense. 4 foot, 50% open, helps them more. Because the major concern for fences on corner lots, even though it's side yard, it's technically a second floor. Is visibility of traffic going down the road, pedestrians on the sidewalk, such like that, and make sort of visual obstruction that it could create by having the tall fence. But the way you have it all designed, it's far away from the corner. It seems to, I don't believe there's any sort of safety issues. Just fine. Okay. Now with the amendment, we will have to, we'll have to make a motion to change this, correct?
A motion to change what's requesting,
Yes.
if that's your desire to take it for 3.5 or that.
Or just wait until after
Well,
the 7th.
he's asking for 6 anyway.
down.
Because HOA is something different.
Correct.
That's fine.
So we need to confirm that with you, because technically that's not what's in front of us at this moment. If you confirm that you want to amend yours from 6 to 4.
Correct, yeah, it would be from the 6th.
1 6.
Yeah.
Are there any questions or comments from the board members? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter? Yeah, if you could please step to the podium, state your name, address, and swear you will be correct.
My name is Marilyn Sonizer. I live at 36581 Annie Lane. I just a little,
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry. We're a semi-judicial board, and I have to swear you will be.
oh, sorry.
Regardless of how
Okay.
little or much you want to say,
All right.
Do you swear from the statements you're about to make from this board of zoning and building appeals for the city of Ridgeville and choose to show answer to
I do. I just had a question, because the original request was for a 6 foot privacy fence. And it's a little difficult to hear over here. I just wanted to understand. So has it now been changed to meet the standards of the neighborhood, a 4 foot powdered aluminum fence?
That's what it sounds like.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. That was all I had to ask. Thank you very much.
Yes,
For the record, to clarify, he also indicated to me 50% open space.
correct. So when we make our motion, should we change his application or just make a motion to the amendment statement? Are there any other questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Sir, if you could please step to the podium. And state your name and address, and swear.
Roger Noblet, I'm at 7369. I'm an adjacent property owner, 7369 Green Lawn.
Do you swear from the statements you're about to make in front of this board of zoning and building appeals for the city of Ridgeville to choose and shall answer what you have?
Yes. Okay, I guess I just add, my question is, what is the proper procedure here when a resident of an HOA is wants to put up a fence? Do they go to the city first, or do they go to the HOA? I mean, what's the?
Well, as far as this board is concerned, the HOA is, we don't take into consideration at all what any sort of HOA really says. Now, if someone gets approval here and then goes to their HOA and gets denied, well, their HOA is denied them, they can't proceed with the project. But from as far as the board of zoning is concerned for North Ridgeville, individual HOAs are really good concerns. There are 2 separate bodies, we don't work together. By nearly 18 years of being on this board, I've never contacted an HOA to ask what their opinion was.
Okay, so So now, I guess I'm somewhat confused, so the HOA has no, the regulations of the HOA have no impact upon whether he puts a fence up or not, or what's?
The HOA 100% does have an effect. If he puts the fence up, it just doesn't have an effect on how we vote, what we consider when we're making our decision on how.
Okay.
Yes.
North Ridgeville zoning board, it only enforces North Ridgeville's ordinances, not the HOA regulations.
Correct.
The HOA has to enforce their own regulations.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter? Questions or comments from the board members? Administration? This time, the chair will entertain a motion. Please remember to make your motion as the revised statement.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we allow this gentleman 4 foot 50% open.
We have a second.
Second.
Clerk, please take.
Kane,
Yes.
Ali,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have a copy of the report. So, yeah. Please read the next application.
PPC 2022-0122, John and Jennifer Minkowitz, 9065 Longbrook Drive, PPN 07-000-000-376. Applicant Dominic Bolo, Artisan Landscape and Designs, 23670 Redfern Road, Columbia Station, Ohio, 44028. The applicant is proposing building a freestanding screened in pavilion, property zoned R1 district, requests a 25-foot variance for rear yard setback of the dwelling. Applicant shows 5 feet, code requires 30 feet. Section 1282.11 C5. Chief building official person's comments. 1282.11 C5 rear yard 4A. For chapter 128. Single family dwelling is 30 feet. Applicant proposing 5-foot rear yard requiring 25-foot variance. BZBA approval required.
Is there a representative here? See, sir, if you please step to the podium, state your name, address, and swear to the record.
My name is Dominic Gulo, 23670 Redford Road, the station.
Do you swear affirm the statements you're about to make in front of this board of zoning and building appeals for the city of Ridgeville are true as you shall answer on to gather evidence and no perjury?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about your application?
Yeah, so the customer, John and Jennifer, we're putting in a pool, and they also would like a covered area as well. So we would like to add a pavilion, open pavilion, screened in, and a fireplace. And we'd like it to be butting up to the house. I know I talked to Guy a couple times. I guess we can't, originally I thought it had to be 5 feet setback from the property line, but if it's freestanding or if it's attached to the house, it has to be 30 feet as you stated. So I'm looking to get the pavilion set up the way I had it drawn out for this. I don't know if you have the drawings up there to look at.
Yes.
Okay.
And what is the reason that you need to make it quick as large as you have?
They have a very large family. So they wanted as big as possible. To be honest with you, that's what they requested. It's not real wide, it is just deep. And again, it's not completely enclosed. So I'm talking to Guy again. I think he said it's more of an aesthetic thing. It is open and there are no neighbors behind them. There's a pond back there. So HOA also, I think I have that in the notes as well. HOA did approve the drawing as it is. I know that has no reflection on what you guys decide.
It's always good.
Yeah.
And I did notice, looking at the aerial, that there's a drainage retention on the time, so it's not like there's a residence immediately in front of you. Ask for the same thing about the structure.
And not to interrupt you, but again, if we would have made it, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we would have had it detached from the house, it could be back 5 feet off the property line. I believe it's 10 feet off the house. So we're really just adding 10 feet and up, putting it against the house. You know what I mean? So if it was detached, it was just a freestanding structure, this wouldn't be a problem. But that extra 10 feet, it just would be wasted space if it wasn't covered. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect
Okay.
sense, because like you said, if it wasn't attached to the house and it's 10 foot off, you could still build 5 foot off your property line.
Exactly.
Not even here to see.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it is just a matter of connecting it.
And again, it's literally gonna be self-supporting. We're not putting ledger boards or anything up against the house because there are windows. I believe that's a bathroom that's gonna butt up to. So there'll be posts around the whole entire perimeter. It is completely freestanding.
So essentially like pole barn style attached to the house.
Very similar, exactly, except again, no walls, so it's not gonna be a very obstructed view for anybody. I mean, the neighbor for the side of the property where we're putting it actually has a tall fence there already. So, correct.
Are there any questions or comments from any board members?
Just so I understand that yard 5 feet off side.
There's actually 10 feet off the side, 5 feet off the rear of the property, which the rear property, as I said, butts up to a common area or a pond, whatever you want to describe it. Yep.
Are there any questions or comments from anyone in the audience? If you please step up to the podium and state your name and address.
Hi, Bernadette Jenke. I live at 9073 Longbrook Drive.
Do you swear from the statements you're about to make about this board of zoning including appeals for the city of Ridgeville and truths and shall answer them to God?
Yes.
Please.
I never got this discussed with. I mean, my neighbors, all of a sudden, I just got a letter of the hearing in the mail. I don't see the design. I understand that John and Jennifer have a large family, but I'm concerned about noise because they've had parties there till 2 in the morning and it's loud. I'm concerned about the view. We moved to Ridgefield for the view. I understand that there will be a pond, but I mean, the people on the other side, their fence is only 4 foot and they put it in because John and Jennifer were getting the pool. So I'm concerned about the look. And a pavilion, to me, when I think of a pavilion, I think of a pavilion like at the park or at a pool. I think it's gonna take away from Bob Schmidt development. We have a fence on the other side that looks like a pole barn. So our view is just terrible. When I sit in my living room, I look at a pole barn on this side. And now I'm gonna look at another fence and another pavilion that's gonna be taller than practically maybe the house. And it's gonna extend out. I don't understand why they need something this big. I mean, I wish that they would have come to me first. I don't like being here without them here or having a discussion with them. I don't like going behind people's back. I don't want to seem like I'm gonna cause trouble, but I would have liked to have seen a design and discussed it with the family first.
And you were the adjacent neighbor next door?
Yes, yes, I'm on the opposite side. I'm at 9073. So I don't know what's gonna be on my side, but all I know is that if I look out my windows and I turn to the left, now I'm gonna see this big tall pavilion, even though it's freestanding. Plus there's gonna have a fence because they have an in-ground pool. I don't even understand why the HOA didn't come to us on either side, you know, the neighbors. Personally, HOAs sometimes just what, anyway, I'm not here to discuss that, I'm just here to discuss that I'm concerned about the noise. I'm concerned about the view, I'm concerned about what it's gonna do to the neighborhood. I think Bob Schmidt is probably rolling over in his grave.
Well, as far as the noise goes, then unfortunately, this board is the board that would.
Right.
Really get into that.
I understand that.
The police department, or maybe even to your HOA. But from our standpoint, we're looking at structure and how it fits on the property. The pool that's there, that has nothing to do with,
Yeah, that's not there yet,
well, that it will be there.
yes.
Soon. It's all their drawings.
Yeah, see, I've never even seen those, I was never approached or anything. I mean,
But the,
if they wanted something this big, it should have been built out in the country. I'm sorry, you know? Come on. That's huge. That's just huge to me. That's just sad. It's just sad. But I mean, the city's gonna do what the city's gonna do, and the HOA, as far as I'm concerned, they're not gonna say no to anybody, because it's just gonna up the property tax, so it's gonna look better for everybody, but this is, I just think that's ridiculous, to be honest. In a development like this, Bob Schmidt never intended this to be like this. So, it's up to you guys, I'm just here to state my opinion and my view, so,
well, I greatly appreciate you coming.
yeah, I don't know.
Thank
Okay, thank you. Thank
Are
you.
there any other
Thank you,
questions,
Chief.
comments
Okay,
from
thank
anyone in the audience? Anything from administration?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to point out that I know there's a discussion of a freestanding pavilion, but this is what we're really talking about is a home addition under our code, under our zoning code. This is attached to the dwelling. It has the same roof line and it functions as an addition. So if the BZBA were to approve this variance as written, if the applicant wanted to enclose this space at a future time in terms of dwelling area, they already have a variance for, the dwelling addition 5 feet off the rear property line. So I know today it's, open air pavilion, it's not to meet the residential have standards, but the approval is really for a home addition, it's not for. So I just think, think down the road too.
That's a great point.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I thought in the past on this board, we can't assume what they're gonna do.
Well, it's not so much that we're gonna assume, but it's the fact that approval would give the building.
Without coming back.
So even though we've talked open air pavilion, what she's stating is, we've talked about the open air pavilion. We can prove what's, drawn on here. They can just turn it into additional way out. It's not.
Not a full barn structure. Correct.
They don't, they could completely change the way they're. We have, I talked about the pole barn structure, but that has nothing to do with, I was just curious. Are there any other questions or comments from anyone in the audience?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if the homeowners, my customers would say, or write a letter saying that they would never utilize that space as a dwelling or enclose the space, would that make a difference?
That would be
Mr.
actually.
Chairman, I have a question, I think. This structure as it looks today, as it's proposed today, would that be turned into a proposed structure, or would that be a major building project, like for planning or something like that? What's the likelihood that?
Never have to do planning, just take the close it. If it's a pole barn, construction is below the frost line, they're attaching below the frost line, so that's permitted.
And additionally, I would like the board to keep in mind that 83% variance, that sort of instead of being a variance from the rule, it does tend to get up to those numbers, eat up the rule or almost make
response to the applicant's proposal. Suppose they could agree to that and do it as a deed restriction, because this homeowner says, no, we're not going to do that. How's that going to carry forward to the next homeowner? Or after that? If they did it as a deed restriction, force that. It's not something the city would necessarily enforce. The HOA doesn't seem to have any objections to this project. Yeah, the city support board if you want to grant this with variance.
Regardless of what you decide this evening, to bring it up again, they could build essentially what they're intending to do, just intending to build the house. Is that correct?
I can't say that that's totally correct, because Ridgeville doesn't allow any outbuildings on their properties. People, when they go to build sheds, had to attach it to the back of the house down there. So the HOA doesn't allow outbuildings detached from the house, is my understanding.
But from our perspective,
Yes.
and since the HOA doesn't allow outbuildings, it's probably why they don't attach them. So
That I can't speak to the applicant.
I apologize, I don't know the answer to that, I'm not that familiar with the HOA codes for this development, but I don't believe, I haven't heard anything about them restricting a pavilion where it has to be attached, I would have to look that up. And you're saying, now that's for this development,
It's an HOA regulation.
okay, so then we would have to go through the HOA to get the approval
If it
for,
were 10 foot off the house.
exactly, okay. Got it.
But again, as mentioned earlier,
HOA and you guys have,
We don't enforce their rules.
of course, no, I understand. That's why, I mean, like I said, that's why I guess they wanted to attach.
if there's no other questions or comments from the audience or administration or the board member, this time the chair will entertain a motion. Do it second. And as a reminder, we vote yes or in the affirmation is to support tonight. Yeah. Clerk, please take roll.
Kane,
Yes.
Ali,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
What is it?
We have a copy of it. Is there any other business come from the board this evening? Hearing none, the chair makes a motion to adjourn. All those signify by aye. Aye. It is adjourned. Denied.